Welcome to another episode of Martial Arts Movie Monday. Sorry about that. Literally just got back in town, so everything's kind of, I know the background looks like it, but I didn't even set anything up. I just kind of threw the computer together, try to get this episode on. I know it's a late night episode. We literally just got back from Mississippi an hour or so ago. Had to eat dinner, unpack, all that kind of good stuff. For anybody that was watching Hollywood Matrimony live last night, when we did it live from our hotel there, I would like to apologize if you're on the YouTube side of it because our internet completely shut down on that side. But you can check out the full show over on our Facebook Live videos because for some reason that one kept playing. We could not read from the internet on the other side to redo the show. So the Facebook, the YouTube one is just part of the show. Is about halfway through. So I think right as we started talking about Hustlers, I think is when it went away, I believe. Anyway, so moving on. Welcome to Hollywood Matrimony's Martial Arts Movie Mondays. I know normally I try to change uniforms with each episode, but this uniform fits perfectly with today's episode, as well as another episode I'm going to do possibly I may skip a week so I can wear a different uniform. I know y'all don't really care about which top I'm wearing. But if you've never watched this show before, we take a deep dive into one of my films from the collection and talk about it, whether we talk about the review, we talk about the movie, we talk about some of its history, but also how it may have had some connection to my own personal martial arts journey. Some of them don't, some of them are newer ones. So obviously they're more just stuff I enjoy. This one does, in fact, on some level, have some stuff, but there is at least there's a story from my childhood with this movie. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I was trying to get everything set up. So let's just dive right into it. Today's movie is Berry Gordy's The Last Dragon. It's a very silly movie. It is awesome, and it's ridiculous in all the best ways possible. If you've never seen this movie, first of all, you're truly missing out. Let me tell you a little bit. There's so many things with this movie. It was released in 1985. Okay, it's directed by a guy named Michael Schultz, who I think he also did. It was either Beat Street or I guess I could just look. It was either Beat Street or Crush Groove. I think it was Crush Groove. I don't know if he did much other than those two movies. Let's look really fast. My wife does. Well, it looks like he did a few things. He's been directing some episodes of Black Lightning now. He's done a lot of TV. Okay, so he's done a lot of work. I'm trying to, geez, Pete, he's like in the 70s. Okay, yeah, he did a lot of work. He did The Last Dragon and then dived right in from The Last Dragon to Crush Groove or vice versa. So he's done a lot of work. So I apologize ahead of time. I'm not sure what he's done. I just hadn't looked at it. But anyway, the movie stars Taimak, who was basically plays Leroy Green, a.k.a. Bruce Leroy, for those that know the movie. Vanity, who was a famous singer, dealt with Prince, and I believe she passed away not long ago or a few years ago or something. But anyway, and then Julius Carey III, who I think has also passed away, who plays Sho'nuff, and of course Ernie Reyes Jr. is here. There's a lot of other people. So anyway, let's just dive into this movie because there's so much stuff. I'm sorry I'm all discombobulated. I wasn't fully prepared for the show today, but I wanted to make sure we got it up here online like it's supposed to be. I was going to pre-record it yesterday. Didn't have time, so I'm just diving into it today. So anyway, what's funny, before we talk about the movie itself, the story here for me in this movie is I saw this movie at the theater. But when I saw it, I didn't know what movie I was going to watch. Like, I didn't know what The Last Dragon was. I hadn't seen the trailer. I hadn't seen anything about it. It's 1985. I'm a kid, born in 74. I remember going to the movie with my friend. We went with our parents. I didn't go by myself. I went with a friend. They told us we had to pick a movie because they were going to see one of the Porky's films. If you don't know what Porky's is, they're like teen sex comedies from the 80s. There was Porky's, Porky's 2, Porky's Revenge. I think that's all three of them. Anyway, I don't remember. I think it was Porky's 2, but I don't know the dates those came out. Anyway, they were going to see Porky's. They told us we couldn't watch Porky's because we were kids, so we had to watch something different. So we were looking at the little ticket booth marquee thing trying to find someone. I saw someone that said The Last Dragon. I told my buddy, that sounds like something karate. There's a dragon in it, so it's either going to be a karate or some kind of fantasy thing. You want to watch that? And he was like, I guess. I don't know what that is either. So we went and watched it, and I fell in love. Not only with Vanity at the time, but also this movie. This movie is such 80s cheese in the best way possible. I love everything about this movie. I've watched this movie hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, whether it was running past it on television, purposely putting it in the DVD player. What's funny is for years, I couldn't even find a copy of this movie. And I'd finally tracked down another friend of mine when I was older, had found it on DVD somewhere and told me, he's like, hey, they put it out. I found it here. So I went there, I got a copy of it. And then, of course, they put out this 30th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. Who put this out? TriStone Pictures. Okay. I thought it might have been Shout Factory. Anyway, Sony put out the 30th anniversary, which has some new look back of making the movie and whatnot. But it's very like, it was a Motown martial arts thing. They were trying to capitalize on the music and the martial arts and the diversity cultures and things like that. And they fully put it at work in this movie. All at the same time of being this super cheesy action comedy montage of blithering nonsense. A little bit of supernatural, mythological, whatever you want to call it, with the whole aspect of the glow. The movie was a pretty big flop, if I understood correctly, at the box office, but it's gone on to become like this massive cult hit. Again, one I loved. It was one for a long time when I was younger. I would talk about this movie, and people had no idea what I was talking about. And I'm talking, high school, whatever. I would talk to people about this movie, and they were like, no, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. You're stupid. And I couldn't find it to show it to them, and we didn't have YouTube, and we didn't have whatever to pull up on my phone. Look, here's the trailer. I played the trailer numerous times for the wife before she ever saw it. Rhythm of the Night, the El DeBarge song, I was stuck in my brain forever. It's got some great martial arts moments. It's got some great laughs. One of the most memorable on-screen villains was Sho'nuff, played by Julius Carry III, who I could recite half this movie. Sho'nuff and his guys come in with Crunch and the other guys and the girls, and he's like, who's the prettiest? Sho'nuff, and they all trying to. It's taken on a life of itself. Like, I have friends that have their comic company is Sho'nuff Comics or Sho'nuff Studios. When I was out at in Mississippi at the convention at Golden Triangle Con, there was a comic store set up right next to us called Sho'nuff Comics. I actually thought it was our friends going out there, and I found out it was this other store. They told me it wasn't them, and then I met the guy. So I even have a piece of art that I forgot to get it out that my buddy Terry did. I'll bring it out next time because it got buried. I'd totally planned to have it for this. That's going to be hanging in our movie room of Sho'nuff. So I'll bring it out next week for the next episode to show you before we kick off the show. But it's going to be hanging in here as well. That's how much I love it. Anyway, the movie's full of one-liners. It's cheesy. It's fun. It's silly. It's got the music. The whole Bruce Leroy, the whole 80s vibe. Like I said, as a martial arts person, I was watching this because there's some great fights in there, especially the big. They hire all these bounty hunters or thugs or whatever, not bounty hunters, thugs and criminals and whatever to beat up Leroy before they bring in Sho'nuff. And that's when they end up hiring Sho'nuff at the same time. And because there's mobsters that want to take over this club and they're trying to kidnap Vanity and what's her name in the movie? Hold on, now I just forgot. What's Vanity's name in the movie? Character's name. Crap, what's her name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So the criminals are coming in and the main criminal's girlfriend is like a Cyndi Lauper clone, if you will, from Kew Gardens, and she's ridiculous but funny. It's got the bumbling thug. It's got a piranha tank. It's all kinds of stuff. The master lying to him about giving something from Bruce Lee. Then you got the three Asian guys who run a fortune cookie factory, and they sing out. There's this one scene where they're singing out in front of this place. I sing that song every time I watch it. I sing Rhythm of the Night every time I watch it. There's certain lines and you quote them here when they go watch Enter the Dragon at the theater and there's a big fight. Ernie Reyes Jr. gets his own time to shine during the big main fight scene at the end when all the different Leroy students all show up and they're helping fight all the thugs and stuff that were hired. He actually fights a few people, and one of the guys he fights is actually Ernie Reyes Sr., which I always thought was cool as a kid. I'm like, oh my God, me and my dad do karate too. That's awesome. Ernie Reyes Jr. was one of those that's always inspired me as a kid, even as an adult now, but even more so as a kid because I felt like I could relate because I was a kid coming up. I was watching him. I'm watching him flip and spin and do stuff. So I'm running around flipping and spinning and doing stuff. And it kind of cemented my past of watching everything he did with Sidekicks, the TV series he had with Gil Gerard, I think it was. And it spun off from a TV movie. I think it was called like The Last Electric Knight or Last Electric Samurai or something like that. It was a TV show. And then he went on, obviously, with the Ninja Turtle movies and Surf Ninjas. He was in The Rundown. He's been in one of the Rush Hour movies. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. He had a rap career for a while. He's a fairly prolific, I believe, Muay Thai fighter. He's still out doing stuff. He got sick briefly, which I tried to write some articles to help promote some stuff that was going through with him on my own. I don't know them, but he still is post stuff. He's a family guy, and but watching him grow up, I mean, he was kind of an influence on me because again, I saw him. He was very much like it was Ernie Reyes Jr. and Kane Kasuki, who were two kids that I watched do martial arts while I was a kid doing martial arts. So we kind of came up together on some level, and I got to see them do stuff. So it inspired me that I could do things like that too. So this movie turned out to be more than just the silly 80s cheese that it is. It actually ended up being something that actually meant a lot to me in terms of my martial arts world. And my instructor used to love this movie. My dad won't admit it, but he likes the movie too. He thinks it's dumb. It is. We get that. But he'll watch it too if I tell him to watch it, or I'm guaranteed if he saw it on TV, he'd start watching it. So anyway, that's all for today. It was a quick one. The Last Dragon, Berry Gordy's The Last Dragon, a little hit of Motown, a little hit of martial arts, a little hit of comedy, a little hit of action, a little hint of cheese, all wrapped up in a nice bow with some martial arts mythology of finding the glow and who the master. And we know it's not show enough because it's Bruce Leroy, Leroy Green to be exact. Movie's available on Blu-ray and DVD. I think there's even another version on Blu-ray, I believe, that was released not long ago, an anniversary edition that was like I think it was a steelbook edition or a bigger thing. I don't remember. But if you get a chance, if you've never watched it, you need to check it out. It's just a fun movie. Don't take it serious as you watch it. Just have fun with it. But if you have seen it, watch it again because it can't do nothing but make you smile. That's all for now. Don't forget, join us for Hollywood Matrimony's TV Tuesdays. We'll be doing in the evenings now because the Mrs. job schedule changed, so she won't be here during the day like normal. And then I'll be back for a weekly update on Thursday, talk about all the news and the trailers and things coming up. And then at some point, I'll throw in an all-new episode of What's on My Desk and Mind, which I did not do last week because of our trip, but we'll throw one in there. Maybe I'll get 2 this week. And then we'll be back right here for Hollywood Matrimony Live that will simulcast right here on this YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page. And if you want to watch the full episode last week, the majority of the episodes here on this YouTube channel still, but you can go over to our Facebook page, Hollywood Matrimony. The full episode is there just from a different angle. Also check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. We have a bunch of contests going away on. We're giving away copies of Star Wars Resistance. We're giving away digital copies of Aladdin, the live action and the animated. We're giving away a copy of Bottom of the Ninth, starring Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiello. We have something else there that I don't remember. Kung Fu League, another martial arts flick that we'll probably be talking about on the show since it's brand new. We might talk about that one next week. And there's some other ones going to be popping up soon. So don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get up all the trailers and the shows and the nonsense we do and help us keep building our mythological empire, if you will, here at Blakey Manor. And also, if you come to the show late authority detailed, you can hit the subscribe button below, or you can hit the subscribe button, this little orb, and I'll possibly try to throw The Last Dragon trailer over here just so you can check it out. But if not, go watch it. The Last Dragon, Blu-ray, DVD, on sale now. Don't forget, keep your hands up. See you next time.